Okay, it is the 22nd of April. Time to wrap it up for the day. We came into the market this morning we were trading in this area right here. So our first sell was in the 90 area. Our second area sell was in the 95 area. Right up in here, we did not have a chance to sell the 89 to 91. The market just blew through it. We talked about this trade, move, pause, move. We had good news on the housing front, and the market promptly sold off of that, whipped, came back around, found the low. We moved our buy area up after this first move in the morning to the 85 area, and that produced a pretty nice trade. The first time you didn't buy the bottom, which is hard to do if you didn't have a limit buy against the value area low, which is not recommended. On these go with contracts, you want to see some rejection. So the earliest you could have been in would have been in the 88 area, right in here. If you'd taken this B trade, you would have been in the 90 area. So 88 to 90 was as good as you could have gotten in. And we were back to our 94, 96 sell, and we stayed there forever. We talked in terms of rejection or acceptance, and you can see right here that the market accepted this area. Value was building high in the distribution, and eventually the market rallies up and out to the 2102 areas. So had our support and resistance areas pretty good. We did get one trade to the short side that set up in our recommended sells, number 2 sell zone. This S trade set up pretty nicely here. Unfortunately, we were long into that off of a trade right here. These trades at the green line are 50-50. The market comes down, value area low, holds, and move, pause, move. That's where we find ourselves once again. So I had support and resistance nailed. The easiest trade came right off the opening. After that, you've had to really work for it. Bad news is good news. Good news took the market lower. So what does it look like on the F1 screen? We're still in this trading range. Right now, you can pretty well see that we have rejected prices below 75 for sure, and maybe below 80. So 75 to 80 would be support 1. 65 to 70 would be the second support area. And 2105 is resistance. If we get through that, it jumps up to 2118. Pretty hard to miss that. So right now, failure to extend the range, failure to take out 21.5 because we do have a lower high and a lower low. Although we're looking at a very strong P, it's okay to be short if resistance holds. The two screens will not, the two time frames will not be in agreement because we're going to show a pretty strong B, a P with a double distribution up in the F2 screen. So put the two together, you got trading range. Once again, tomorrow, the easiest trade to see is going to be failure to take out this 2105 area. So if the market is to close right here, we're going to sell failure to take out 2105. Second trade is going to be 2109, 2111. On the buy side, 95, 97. And 90, 92 for buy 2. And given the way this market trades right here, it may take a 2100 to get in long in Globix. We do have news tomorrow, jobless claims, 285. It's kind of our default number right now. PMI manufacturing flash. Pretty big number, 56. This number is actually being, the PMI numbers, the market's flash numbers have been coming in higher than forecast. I have no idea how it will play tomorrow or how it will come in. The new home sales at 518. These numbers have come in higher than forecast. So jobless claims will be number 1. New home sales will be number 2. The PMI numbers don't get the play that the ISM numbers do. So the easiest trade to see is selling failure to take out 2105. The bracket holds. Okay, the financials just got clobbered. We lost 2 handles in the knob spread today. We went from 34 plus to we're at 32 right now. So really, 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 really big selling. And the tossing in the towel. And the news really has been more to the financial side than it has been to the equity side. But you can see that on our F1 screen, lower high, lower low, we had a trend day down. So we're probably looking for a pause day tomorrow. We got pretty good support in this 28.16 area. We're currently at 26. So this screen has us a seller. The F2 screen also has us a seller. Multiple distributions down. Lots of single prints. 29, 29.04. Got 06, 6.5. Got 8.5 up to what, 10 to 11. Or the single prints just run out. So we have multiple distribution downs, unanswered selling, and we saw that this morning. So selling failure to take out 29, 29.04, I think is the easiest trade to see. And our 7 to 11 will be sell too. On the buy side, we've got volume down here at 19 to 20. We've got this low volume number at 24. I think we can go a little bit lower, so we'll make 17 to 21 buy 1. Then 9 to 13, leaning against these low volume numbers down here, buy 2. And we'll put a question mark at 24. So this market really got slammed today. Don't know why people lost their nerve. The early on, Zero Hedge was saying the dollar yen spread. I don't know. That one's always seemed a little like a stretch to me. But I'm sure those guys are closer to that market. Well, I know they're closer to that market than I am. And if, like we said, if the E-mini sells, this should come up a little bit. If the E-mini rallies, this should come off a little bit. And bad news did not take the E-mini lower. In fact, good news actually took the E-mini lower on that break off the housing information. Huge market in the 30-year. And if you all... there are opportunities. We're on top of this market. It's really moving. I mean, a slow day is a 0.38, but you can just see that just really unanswered selling all the way down to 162.02. And so 162, 162.04, sell failure to take that out is probably the easiest trade to see. The next area will be 15 to 19, picking up this spot in here for sell 2. One stops below 161, so 1 to 29, buy 1. And then 21 to 25 for buy 2. And we're going to put a question mark down here in the 4 to 8 area. I don't know. It looks like we should go lower, but sometimes you get selling off of what's really hard to see. Started the selling. I mean, these guys wanted to be short, and they nailed it all the way down. There weren't any buyers all the way down. So, but you know, when the selling gets going, it's really it's hard to stop, and the Fed kind of leaves this market alone. They don't come in and intervene, and the reason they can do that is that interest rates are at 0.25%. Okay, we are pointed lower on gold, so let's go take a look at the F1 screen and see where we might find support. Got a pretty clean break in this area, so 75, 77. We've got this low at 82. We're at 85. So 75 to 80 might be pretty good support. So buy 1 in the 80 area off of this screen. Going to the F2 screen. make it 80 plus or minus. 75 plus or minus on buy 2. Pretty good spill from 94.95, so we've got resistance at 90 to 92, and then 95 to 97 for sell 2. Looking at the euro, we're in a pretty tight trading range. We got a seller 108, 108 and a quarter. We got a buyer 107, 106.75. I don't think that's going to change, so we're going to put our buy zone 107, 107 and a quarter. And we're going to put our sell zone 75 to 108 for sell 1 and 2. And we'll see what happens. 24th, they say something could come out on the Greece deal, but they've slipped it again to May the 11th. That's the second date. And it serves both parties' purposes to do this. They can talk and keep the market on hold. And they, both sides of, I mean, every central banker has become a master at this. So that's where we find ourselves. Crude oil, stuck in a trading range. There was a late article out that Saudi Arabia has defied the United States and has resumed bombing on Yemen, and they're going to send some troops in. I don't know what the story is. It looks, so far from a military standpoint, it looks pretty half-hearted to me, trying to win it in the air, and everybody knows it can't be done. You can get revenge. You can poke them in the eye, so to speak, but you can't solve the problem. So there's two groups fighting, two factions in Yemen, those that back the previous government and those, the Houthis that are trying to overthrow that. The Houthis are backed by Iran. Those that are trying to put the previous government back in are backed by Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states. And it's unresolved yet on which group is going to win. I mean, it's musical chairs as to which dictator gets in and gets to loot the country next. That's kind of the way it works in that part of the world. Tribalism. In the absence of law and civil protections, you're pretty much tied to the gun and the tribe, and it's everywhere. I mean, you can even go into the ghettos in the United States, and the gangs rule there. Why? They don't feel like they have legal recourse, and their only protection becomes with affiliation with a gang. And the governments are going to do it for you. You'll do it for yourself. It's called survival. That's all I have for right now. I'll see you bright and early in the morning, 6:45 a.m. Central Time. In the meantime, y'all have a great evening. Later.